So I thought I'd intro this video because as I'm currently editing this, apparently I did not intro this video at all. So hi guys, welcome to a fall reading vlog. In this video I try out different genres, read a few books, and honestly some are amazing, some aren't, but I feel like that's just all in the process of stepping out of your comfort zone, reading different genres and trying new things out. Overall, I really enjoyed reading these books that I'm about to read with you guys, and so I feel like take this as your sign to just try different genres, even if you're scared of like the outcome, even if like the books like aren't something that you're used to or like you normally read. Believe me when I say sometimes trying something new can lead you to realizing that like you actually like different genres. So welcome to this video. I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get into it. Okay guys, so currently have only 100 pages left, so this is how much I have to read, and honestly I feel like I could thoroughly say this is a 5-star read for me. Ever since I've picked this book up, I honestly want to get everything else done so I can finish and read this book, because tell me why I am encapsulated by the atmosphere. Pun intended. I am encapsulated by just like the space knowledge, everything that's going on in this book, the storyline, the plot, the characters. Still really don't love Barbara, but I feel like she's growing on me. Right now, everything is actually going really well. Our characters that I thought were gonna get together got together, so I'm really excited to see how it ends. I feel like it's gonna be really sad, like it's gonna have like a sad ending because of like the introduction that we're given at the beginning of the book, and it also says it at the back that there's a tragedy that happens, like something goes completely off plan, and we've been slowly getting to that point because this happens in 1984, and then we're like transported back to 1980 and just seeing all the events that led up to the big catastrophe that happens in 1984. So I'm really excited to see how that turns out, but I'm also like really kind of sad because I'm almost done with this book. Like, one thing about Miss Taylor Jenkins Reid, her writing will just like consume you. When I'm reading this, I am so in it. I am focused. I feel like I'm part of the characters, and honestly right now I'm like excited to finish it, but I'm also like a little kind of sad to finish it. But I can't wait to start reading more TJR books because honestly this lady knows how to write. So probably gonna spend the rest of the afternoon reading this. I've honestly read like what, 30 pages so far, and so I'm excited to see. Honestly, this book is showing me that I'm a very slow reader, because tell me why, like in a day I'll read like minimum 50 pages. And what I've done with this is I'm reading the physical book, so I'm not reading this like on my e-reader at all. So I feel like that's also giving me like a bigger push to get my work done, sit down and read. And I feel like it's because the book is so floppy. The words are huge, so it feels like I'm reading a lot even though I'm not. So I'm gonna try and finish this today so we can start our new book, because I want to be spending like a week reading one book. Even though this book is amazing, I'm not gonna lie, this book is amazing, but I'm ready for it to finish. So I'm comfy now in my bed. I've literally just made my coffee, so I'm gonna spend the next few hours reading. So yeah, I'll update you guys when I'm done. y'all seen I was at the library this morning, got some reading done, and guys, I made some progress. So let's have a little update. As y'all have seen, I finished Atmosphere, and what can I say? 5 stars, no notes. Everything about this book, top tier. I fully understand why people are so obsessed with this book. The writing style is so detailed that you feel like you're a part of the story. You feel really connected to the characters. Everything these people go through is so intense. Working for NASA is intense, and considering it's the 1980s and our main character is Joan Goodwin, a female main character, mind you, in the 1980s, I feel like it was like really hard for her to be taken seriously, especially given when she was still teaching, a lot of her colleagues were men, and none of them like gave her any value. They just like put her to the side. They didn't think much of her. And then when she gets into NASA and beats all her other male counterparts, it's just like a revolutionary in my opinion, because a lot of the women in the story are working for NASA, and considering that NASA at the time didn't have women working for them, I feel like every time they do something they have this mindset where it's like they can't make it harder for the next generation of women coming into NASA, because essentially they're like the test subjects to see if women can actually deal with everything that's going on in the space. So that made the book so much more entertaining, because you see that like although these women are struggling in their daily lives because of all this like outside noise that's like hindering them or like coming into their space, they're not letting that bring them down, and they're just showing that like, yes, we are women, but we're also capable of doing anything that these men can do as well, or better essentially. So yeah, highly recommend reading this book. It was actually so good. I've said this time and time again, no notes, because honestly everything about this was top tier. So yeah, highly recommend reading this book. The next book I picked up was 28 Summers by Ellen Hildebrand. I haven't heard a lot about this book, but I've heard about this author, and essentially her books are like really emotional. They like hit you really deep, and I feel like we're going to get that with this book. I'm currently only on page 66, and based off of how the story started, I feel like it's going to be a really sad but like really emotional in a good way, and like it was just gonna be like gut-wrenching. I feel like it's gonna be like a gut-wrenching story, and I'm really prepared to see how it goes. And also what I really like is that, considering the book is called 28 Summers, we're going through 28 years, I'm assuming, of these characters, and right now I'm on summer number 2, which is in 1994, and not a lot has happened, but I think we're getting like the foundation of our couple in the story, and essentially what they're going to be going through and why it's called 28 Summers. So I'm excited to see where the story goes, because as y'all know, I'm not that far in, but I feel like once I start reading and get further into it, I'll learn more about it, and then I'll have like my own opinion about the book. But so far so good. The writing style is really good. I'm enjoying that, and the chapters are low-key kind of long, because each chapter is a year, like a whole year goes by, and then like the next chapter is that's next summer. So I feel like in that sense it's interesting, because like you're getting a lot of information of like what happens throughout the year, and then in summer when like the characters come back together, I feel like that's also going to be an interesting concept. So yeah, I'm excited to see where this one goes. But yeah, let me stop yapping, get back to reading, and I'll update you guys once I'm a little further into it. Okay guys, so it's been a while since I've updated you guys, and honestly I feel like after completing 28 Summers, I just needed time to like decompress, collect my thoughts, because this book did not turn out the way I expected it to. I initially went into this thinking it would be like a really emotional, gut-wrenching story, and it really didn't turn out being like that. It was more so us going through the 28 years of all the characters in the story and how their relationships essentially like began, and like through the years how things shifted and changed. I feel like it was mainly about like friendship and like the underlying issues of the friendships that these characters are having, and how each character is being like influenced, or how their personality is not like given to the fullest based off of the people around them. And I feel like we could really see that with Leland's character as well as Ursula. Leland and Ursula could be best friends if they weren't so self-centered and cared mainly about themselves, because I feel like everyone else around them was like suffering essentially. But yeah, this book was so good. I feel like it wasn't like 100% amazing. Like, I didn't love it, but when I was reading it, I'll be like enjoying it, but like, I didn't like pick it up. Like, I didn't have that itch to pick it up and finish reading. So I feel like that's why like this is going to be like a low rated book for me. Yes, the writing style was fun, interesting, but I feel like overall it was just like an okay read. Considering it was like a fiction book, it's okay. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. It was an okay read. But after this, I like dove deep into my next read. Guys, I started Babel, and when I tell you, this has revived me. I feel like the trajectory of the books I'm reading right now is pretty good, considering the one that I just read, it was like it was meh. This, I am hooked. Currently, like, I don't even know how far I am. I'm like 100 pages in. So I feel like it's time for an update. I'm currently on, what is this, chapter 7. So yeah, chapter 7, which is a page 129. That's where I'm at right now. And honestly, this book is so good. I am thoroughly enjoying my read of this, and I feel like this is going to be a really good read for me. It's my first time reading a historical fiction also, so I'm really excited for that. And the magic system here, top tier. I feel like it's really nice reading a book where it's like the magic system is different from something I've like normally been used to. So I'm really excited about this. The characters in the story, I feel like things are going to take a really interesting turn, because like our 4 main characters are all like different race, and I feel like that's just going to bring so much depth and character into the storyline. And considering it's set in the 1800s, I feel like there's going to be a lot for us to like dissect and understand with each character, as well as their education, considering they're in Babel. So Babel is the translation school that they're studying in at Oxford University. So I feel like Babel itself is like a really prestigious place in the university, so them being like outsiders because of like where they're from, and other people being women, and so like they're not really like looked up to, considering like women aren't like essential in this time. So I feel like those 4 characters with like the different like aspects that they bring into the storyline will be really interesting to see. Also, our character Robin, I feel like there's a lot we still don't understand about him, and like the more I read, the more I'm just like, wow, I need to know more about him specifically, because I feel like he's really like quiet and doesn't like voice a lot of things compared to the other characters. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. It's been such a good read, and considering this is the second R F Kuang book that I'm reading, I'm loving this way more. Already, I'm loving this way more, so I'm excited to see what my thoughts are the more I read. So yeah, I think for right now, I'm probably gonna go have a little coffee, continue reading, because guys, the words here are tiny. Like, hello? The words are so small. So reading this is probably going to take me a while, but honestly, I'm really excited about this. So I'm probably going to make my coffee, read this for a little bit, and then I'll probably with you guys once I'm like more into it, because I feel like right now it's like foundations are being laid out. So I got to get more into the story to give you guys like a proper update on the book. But yeah, so far, so good. Okay guys, so I figured we'd end off this vlog with like a debrief of all the books that we read. First one we read was Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and what can I say about that book except that like I love everything about it from the beginning up until the end. I feel like the writing style was so good, the plot was so good, and I feel like the way Taylor Jenkins Reid wrote that book, you were really going through the journey with the main character of her trying to get to NASA, her being in NASA, her position, everything she was going through emotionally, physically, literally everything that happened in the book. I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid did a really, really good job of showcasing the different aspects of each of the different characters and how that goes into play with the timeline being set in the 1800s and how, did I just say 1800? I think it was like the early 2000s, like 90 something. But anyways, the setting of this book being in the time where women were not taken seriously, and for this book to focus on women going into NASA and what that would mean for people following after them. Honestly, so well written. I feel like the character that I disliked, Barbara, I honestly disliked her from the beginning all the way up until the end. And I feel like that just goes to show that Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing was so powerful in the sense that, like, I disliked this character from the jump all the way up to the end. She literally had no redemption arc at all, and I feel like I really didn't want her to because she's just so self-centered. So I feel like that added like another dynamic to the storyline. But honestly, this book was like push and go for like the last 50 pages because you honestly did not think these people were going to have a happy ending. The things that these characters go through in the last 50 pages, you're just like expecting disaster. Like, yes, there were some points where it's like certain things happen, it was like really sad, but you're like, at least our character had a happy ending, because by golly, that woman went through the most, honestly. But yeah, I gave my book a 5-star read, and honestly, highly recommend. I'm really, really excited that I actually read this book after so long, because I feel like it's been out for a while. But yeah, that started off this reading vlog on a good note. And then we went on to our next book, which was 28 Summers. Okay, so going into this book, I feel like I had really high expectations, solely based on the fact that Ellen Hildebrand's book have been like highly spoken about. And so I feel like that just like raised my expectations so much, and this book didn't hit. It missed the mark. I really don't understand what it was about this book, because like I wouldn't pick it up because I'm excited to read. I honestly pick it up just to find out when these people are going to get caught and how they managed to have an affair for 28 years and not get caught, which is just crazy. What I actually enjoyed about this book was that we were taken through the 28 years, not just solely focusing on our main characters, but like all the side characters that are part of their lives as well. And I feel like that was really, really interesting in the sense that like you see what these people are going through over the course of 28 years, not just their affair, how it started, but how everything around them is like evolving as time goes on as well. So I feel like that was really interesting. But overall, as a book, I wasn't interested that much. I honestly read it just to finish reading it. I would have honestly DNF'd this like a long time ago. Probably if I wasn't filming this video, I would have stopped reading this. But I feel like, yeah, that was my first and probably last Ellen Hildebrand book, because the writing style was okay. The plot was honestly okay. I was mainly reading this for the plot, and like it didn't go in the way that I expected it to go. So honestly, I feel like it was an okay read. I'm not gonna recommend it, honestly. I think I gave this book like 2 stars. And guys, when did I ever give a book a 2-star? I feel like the lowest I gave is like a 3. This was like a 2.5 for me, and I'm just like, it's really sad after going from like a 5-star book that you loved from the beginning, everything about it was so good, you had no notes, to go to a 2-star read. Crazy. But I guess that's what happens when you try reading different genres. Like some books are a hit, some books are a miss. Like some days are gonna be like really good and some days aren't. But you gotta keep trying. And our final book that we're going to discuss today, guys, is none other than Babel by R.F. Kuang. The only other book I've read by R.F. Kuang was Catabasis, and that one I like soft DNF'd, honestly, at like 40 or 50%. And I feel like this book, because I soft DNF'd Catabasis, I went into this not with high expectations, because I feel like I didn't want to disappoint myself if like I went in it thinking it was going to be amazing and then it wasn't. But let me tell you guys, this book, wow, what can I even say? I feel like first and foremost, this book showed colonialism and the effects of colonialism so well. It literally made me think about my own life and like my own self. And the fact that like this book was set in the 1800s, our main characters are people of color from the country that England colonizes. Guys, honestly, I was left with like this feeling of like introspection. Honestly, this book is about introspection, because tell me why these characters are taken from their home countries, sent to England to grow up. Essentially, you're grown up in the way where it's like you're going to be giving back to the empire by being a translator. So your home language will be used to translate to like help England acquire more power and wealth, essentially. And I feel like the aspects of fantasy in this book made the storyline that much more interesting. Because tell me why, guys, this was my first time reading a historical fiction. Well, like this book is more so like historical fiction with fantasy and like dark academia, and now I understand the hype about dark academia fantasy books, because this book was so good. Honestly, it made me think about like my own life, because I left my home country when I was 6 months old. Grew up in Asia, grew up in Europe. Those cultures and mentalities are like so ingrained in me that I feel like I more so lean towards like the European and the Asian side compared to my own South African side. And I feel like that also made me think, as like growing up, like how living in Europe and Asia influenced me, and if I can like recognize my social differences and my cultural differences between like my own home country and the countries that I've lived at. Guys, literally this book is just making me like rethink my entire life, because now it's like, do I like learning new languages and new cultures because I lived in different countries, or is it because of like the colonial mindset where it's like you need to learn these languages in order to survive? Food for thought. Food for thought. Miss Arfquag did her thing with this book, because honestly, I'm literally having so many questions, so much introspection after reading this book, and I'm just like, you know what? Two things can exist at once. One, I can be happy and like recognize that I was privileged enough to live in different countries, and two, I can also recognize that like I am a product of colonialism, okay? Guys, honestly, this book is just leaving me with so many questions and like so much to think about, and I feel like that was one of the main purposes of this book, to show that like colonialism impacts other people differently. And it's just crazy to see how the things played out with all of our characters. Guys, this book was so good. You guys honestly need to read it. I feel like I gave this book like a 4.5 or like a 4.75, because like it wasn't a 5-star rate for me, but like everything about it was so entertaining. I was like always picking it up because I wanted to see what happened next. I was really intrigued with like the storyline, the plot, how everything was going down. So glad I picked that up, honestly. But yeah, this is gonna be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, because honestly I thoroughly enjoyed trying out different genres to see, because honestly guys, sometimes you just need to like branch out and try new things. So yeah, I'm probably gonna be reading more dark academia after this, because I feel like now I just want to like get more knowledge and like info and just like see what other dark academia books are present. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, share notifications so I know every time I upload, and I'll catch you in another one. Bye.